Hola mi gente, it's Alondra la OT. Today I have a very special guest with me, occupational therapist Stacy Wilson. We're going to talk a little bit about some of his leadership engagement and what he's currently working on, some of his passions, so stay tuned. Alright, so you know it. Before we get into this video, it's time for Tres en 30. So 3 questions, 30 seconds. You ready?
I'm ready.
First question. What's your current work setting?
Inpatient rehab.
Alright. Top 3 leisure activities.
Working out, surfing the internet, and reading.
Okay. Favorite part of the AOTA conference thus far? One thing.
Favorite part is probably the Slagle lecture.
Yeah. 24 seconds. Peace. All right, mi gente. So let's go ahead and get into this interview with Stacy Wilson. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your ethnic background.
Oh, sure. So both my parents are from Liberia, West Africa.
Okay.
And so they came to the States in the 70s in search for educational opportunities. And so I was born 5 years later.
All right, so you're first generation.
First generation.
Represent. So is the current setting that you're working in the first setting that you worked in right out of OT school?
Actually, right after OT school, I started as a travel therapist.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of thought, you're only exposed to 2 main field works as a student.
Right.
And I really wanted to, delve into other areas. So I actually dabbled in SNF, adult day, outpatient, acute care. And so all these settings, just to and inpatient rehab was the one that I did as a student. After, trying a variety of settings, I really liked some of them, but inpatient rehab was really where my heart was.
What's your favorite part about inpatient rehab?
Oh, the length of stays. I mean, I get to work with patients for an hour and a half to an hour, every day. So it's like you really build that rapport with patients.
Right.
You really kind of get to know them individually, personally, spiritually. So it's a great opportunity just to do OT, I think.
So, about leadership, what sparked your interest in leadership and how did you get started in leadership?
When I was a student, I was fortunate to be selected as the ASD rep for my school, UNC Chapel Hill. And so my first conference was in Texas. So that was my first little taste of leadership. And from that, I applied to the Emerging Leaders Program. And that further just really reinforced the fact that I wanted to be in leadership.
Right.
So one of the projects I did when I was an emerging leader was to create a scholarship for increasing diversity. So when I was at the ASD conference, I just realized that there were a lot of people that didn't look like me in the profession, and so I wanted to change that narrative. And I thought, research says being in leadership, having people of underrepresented groups was a great way to just showcase diversity and to get increased diversity. So I wanted to be in leadership. I wanted to maintain that and to change the status quo. So
that's great. That's amazing. And you're doing some amazing things. What are some of the things that you're passionate about or currently working on?
Yeah. So I am passionate about diversity pipelines. So other programs have it, nursing, STEM programs. So why can't OT have a pipeline program?
Right.
So about 3 years ago, I developed a pipeline program with the interest of students or practitioners and people in academia just going into primary schools, so elementary, middle, high schools, even colleges, just reaching out, tell them what occupational therapy is. So I didn't find out about it until I was a sophomore. So I would love for kids to at 1, 2, 3, before they can even speak, just to say, hey, I want to be an occupational therapist. You know what I mean? That would be so cool.
Little babies running around. I want to be an occupational therapist.
So that's pretty much my mission. And then in addition to that, just having mentorship opportunities for students, because we're again having students come into a culture of academia that it's run by the mainstream. So if they don't have the same type of learning style, sometimes they need a little bit more mentorship, or there's some issues that come up that they just need to talk to with someone that looks like them, speaks their language, that lives the same lifestyle that they live, maybe has the same disability that they have. And so there's no reason that we can't have mentorship opportunities, shadowing opportunities for current students that are in college to see what OT is. And then the last piece of the pipeline is just creating scholarships. And so that's kind of where I started, but that's kind of at the end because we need to support students. I had to work when I was in school, and that took a toll the first year. I was fortunate enough to get scholarships for my second year, and it made it a lot easier with the schoolwork and everything. So I just want to pay it forward to the next generation.
Yeah, that's great. And I think that we do have to try to get them when they're young, because I didn't learn about occupational therapy like you until post undergrad actually, when a family member of mine became ill. And if I had known about occupational therapy at a much younger age, if it was introduced to me at school when they have all the education fairs and college fairs, I probably would have pursued a career in occupational therapy much sooner. So and I think just advocating for diversity within our profession and educating the youth on why that's important, that will really help to just kind of increase our culturally diverse workforce and awareness and sensitivity. So I think that's amazing that you're doing that. Great work. Any mentorship programs that you recommend? Sure.
Well, I'm a part of an organization called COTAD. So it's a mouthful, but it's a coalition of occupational therapy advocates for diversity. You can check out our webpage
at
cotag.org.
Yeah.
Below there somewhere. And basically we have a minority mentorship program, and that'll be an excellent way to start. What we do is we just take mentors from all across the globe. So we have people in the Northeast of the United States, Florida, Cali, Spanish-speaking mentors. We have African Americans, we have males, we have people with disabilities, we have LGBTQ people in the community. And so we take someone that needs mentorship and they have a one-on-one relationship. We try to pair you based on interests, and basically, they support you for about a year, and then hopefully you can in turn mentor somebody, pay it forward, and that would be an excellent way just to kind of give back to the profession in a real tangible way. So, all
right, so you fall under the underrepresented in our profession, being a male, being a person of color. Any final advice?
Sure. I would say, as a person of color, I think it's very important that we, educate people, because, my peers don't know what occupational therapy is. I think just spreading the word about what occupational therapy is will do the profession a great deal. Just because if your friends know what occupational therapy is and they're in need of services, or if a family member's in need of services, maybe your friend could say, hey, I remember, I have a friend named Stacy, and he's an occupational therapist. Maybe I could put you in contact with him. And just those genuine relationships that people contact, I've found that I've been able to educate a whole nother class of people that I just haven't had access to.
So spread the word, people. What is OT? What do we do? And why are we occupational therapists or going into the profession? So spread the word.
Get it out there.
Get those little babies.
Yes.
Occupational therapy. So before I let you go, it's time for the Palabra del Día. Okay, so the word for the day is, did you sleep well? And so if you want to ask your patient or client, did they sleep well last night? So you can say, dormiste bien. Right? I'll say that one more time. Dormiste bien. You want to give it a shot?
Dormiste bien.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So now when you have a patient and you're going to see them first thing in the morning, and you want to make sure they had a good night's rest, or maybe they were interrupted by nurses or whatever, you could say dormiste bien. So you have to add that little question mark.
Dormiste bien.
There you go. So, thank you so much to my special guest, Stacy Wilson. I can't thank you enough for just taking the time from the AOTA conference and doing this interview with me and spreading the word about occupational therapy and diversity and inclusion. It really means a lot. So thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you for having this platform. I think this is awesome, and I encourage you to keep going with the fight. So
I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
We're going.
And
I'll find you.
Okay.
Bien? Okay. I'm trying to think if I had anything to add to that. I don't have anything to add to that.